Hi friends, it's Udhaya from Backyard Garden Highlights. Hope you guys are doing great today. Today I'm planning to share it with you guys how the backyard garden looks. So what I have done is actually for the border planting, I thought I will try to keep, my husband always says that he wants to see the perennials, like he wants to see the plants coming year after year. So I don't have to spend too much work in the garden. So this border planting also, I'm trying like whatever I can do to create a perennial border here. So I thought I will plant 2 rubeckia plant, and then after that for the blue color I have planted sage, but sage is really looking very small. They haven't really grown yet. Look at this, they are like maybe 2 inch, but I think I transplanted them very late. Maybe after rubeckia was done, I think maybe after a couple of weeks I have done. So they are not up to speed with the rubeckia, because as you can see rubeckia started flowering. This is the first bud to open, so and this is my first time I'm really growing rubeckia, so I'm really impressed with how beautiful this bloom is, and how they really look before they open. So it's like a star, and sometimes it looks like only it comes as a dark color and then it opens with a yellow color. So it's really nice plant. So far I'm really loving it. Hopefully they don't flop over. I'm still thinking whether I should put any wire mesh over here so that they don't flop over, but I don't know. Let's see. Another 2 months we have a growing season, 2 to 3 months. Based on that, I think it's going to be learning this year, and next year I'll be making any adjustment. But 2 rubeckia, and then I have a blue sage, and then 2 rubeckia. So this bed we want to see from the outside, from the street, as well as from the deck. When we want to see some pop of the color. So yellow seems to be really visible from long distance than other colors. So this area I'm following the yellow, purple, pink combination. So I think the rubeckia, bachelor button, and bachelor buttons are really having different color hues here. I really love seeing variants. I have this purple, and then I have a light pink, and I have light blue, thick blue. So a lot of different variation the bachelor buttons I have. So I'm really loving it. So with bachelor buttons, rubeckia and sage, this border planting is going to really look great. And then as I said, like I have at least half of this bed, like this side of the bed I have also pansies. So hopefully this bed looks really wonderful throughout the season. And next year my expectation is the rubeckia and the sage will come back. Probably I may fall plant the bachelor buttons so they really become strong, because I have noticed the fall planted bachelor button plants are much more stronger than the spring planted one. Anyway, let me show you guys the closer look on how these border plants with blooms look. And as you can see, like I have popped in the pansies at least every 1 feet distance, so they are really making me feel happy with at least 1 flower each. And this one is blue sage. At least this one is the biggest plant in the overall row, and all the rudbeckias are loaded with ton of buds. Hopefully in my next tour you will see yellow colors all over here. We have covered this vegetable bed, so let me show you guys the flower bed. So this one and the other one, these two I'm using as a flower bed. So let me show you what all the varieties I have. So even though I said it's a flower bed, I have popped in some vine here. This is a vegetable. It's also one of the bean. I think it's lobla beans. So I have planted this, but I think they are growing very fast here. So as you can see, they look nice now, but once they really grow big, I'm hoping that I will have entire place covered like this. so that's why I'm thinking I have planted dahlias here. I think I have 4 dahlia plants here. So my plan is, as the dahlias are now taller than this 2 plant, so I'm started training my dahlias to go inside the trellis, basically inside the bed. So when this vine covers with full leaf in the outer side, they can really get sun from that side. So that's my plan. So that's how I'm really training these dahlia plants. So you can see this dahlia plant I have already put it inside, and this is the first dahlia that has bloomed for this season, basically from the seed dahlias actually. So this is how this dahlia looks now. They are also being damaged by the Japanese beetle. I have removed them, but I'm hoping that I think Japanese beetle usually comes mid-June and they go after maybe mid-July. Another few more weeks I have to really manage the Japanese beetle. But look at the beautiful bloom. I don't know, the bloom size seems to be very tiny compared to the other blooms that I have got from this giant dahlia mix collection. Maybe this variety is smaller bloom, but the color is really very attractive though. So this is the first bloom that I have got from seed dahlia this year. And as you can see, I think that's going to be the second dahlia. All the dahlia that I have planted here, everything except one plant is from the seed that I have grown during March. So this is what I am telling. So look at the bloom size, guys. This is just a bud, and look at how big it is. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful, guys? So yeah, that's how I saw last year the giant dahlia big mix from Johnny's seed collection. I saw the bloom size was really big enough, like you can hold in your full palm and it comes the full size. But for some reason this variety seems to be like small, maybe half or quarter of it, but it's okay. As long as I'm getting some bloom, that's really enough for me. And these plants is actually cosmos. I think I'm learning something new. I planted cosmos in the back side of the bed. They don't get really great amount of sun. My younger daughter Kavi, she planted that around around April 11th, and it's almost May, June, yeah, more than 2 months now. I do not see any buds, any evidence of they are going to bloom for me. So I don't know whether they need full sun to even produce single bloom. I don't know. So I'm still hoping that they produce some blooms soon. And then as you can see, I have one more potato plant here. So I had potato plants in this side last year. So I think from there it has come. So I left it as is. I don't know how I'm going to harvest because they are in between this plant and the dahlias. So I have to see. Thankfully I have planted actually zinnias here, but they I think did not come. So I'm hoping that there is enough space for me to dig these potatoes once they are ready. Alright, now let's take the center of attraction for this bed this year. I have planted the pampas plume here. These are all volunteer plants. They are from last year's seeds that they have spread here. So I found them as part of weeding. So I thought I will plant them here. So they are just tiny. I just planted them maybe a week before. So they are just establishing their roots. I'm hoping that in next 2 weeks they will grow and fill up this space here in the front. And in the back we have all different varieties of snapdragons. They are actually like, this is the first batch. They have, as you can see, they have really produced wonderful bloom. And these are all the second set. They are coming from their roots. So that's really great about snapdragon. So you don't just get one stalk. They will produce multiple stalk, but the stalk will be smaller when you see the multiple stalk. But look at the first batch when they produced a strong stalk during the cold weather in the spring. They look really amazing. I think I had only this variety last year, the peach color. So I was so impressed. So I thought this time I will try all the seeds. And I have got so many interesting colors. So I really love the different colors. And this is kind of cream white, and I have yellow in the other sun raised bed, and this is like orangey color. I really love it. They look so beautiful and really amazing color. I will put some more clips on how they looked before they opened up, but really I'm so happy about how these snapdragons produced wonderful plants here and the blooms here. And on the back side you can see almost stalk flowers. They are almost done blooming, and again I will put you guys how they looked in the last weeks, so you know how beautiful they looked. But now they are looking tired, but they were really looking stunning in this space. So stalk bloomed first, and then snapdragons first stalks are coming, and I'm hoping that these will come in the next batch, and by the time these plumes pampas will be ready, and they will add nice color here. So I'm really happy how they look. And I also have one dahlia plant that I have planted from tuber. That was actually started from seed last year and saved the tuber last year, and that's tuber I was successfully pre-sprouting and it came out. So I was so happy and I planted that. So this bed is completely with snapdragons. I'm hoping that I can mulch them thoroughly this year, so snapdragons can be acting as a perennial for my next year as well. And I'm still not sure whether even if I mulch, dahlias are going to come back or not, but I'm going to give it a try so I don't have to plant them again next year. So snapdragon and dahlias, I'm thinking I want to keep them as a perennial in this bed. And these are all sweet peas. They just started blooming. I did not give them enough trellis, so they really found their way very late for them to climb up here. But as you can see, they are adding so much interest to the overall bed with the late bloom. And let me go back and show you guys something interesting. I have actually planted one sweet potato here, And I know, like, I think I just learned that sweet potatoes, we just need to take the slip and plant them, but I did not really have enough time to do that. I just kept one full sweet potato under the soil, and they are like coming vigorously. So I'm still thinking what really I need to do to keep them under control so they don't take over the entire bed. See, look at it. Every day they are growing at least about a feet, because yesterday I saw until only here, and now they have really grown up to here. So I'm thinking to put some wire mesh here and then make them climb up here. Hopefully I can do that before they take over this bed. And the next one is this one, guys. Tell me if you guys agree this is a sunflower, because I did not really plant sunflower in my garden. I found some 3 seedlings. They looked identical in my compost bin. I thought I will give it a try to find out what these plants are, and I was doing a Google search. I could not find them, what plant it is, and only I think recent weeks I found, based on the leaf and the buds that they formed, they looked like sunflower to me. And I was searching for this leaf type, and it was said to be some perennial sunflower. I don't know if there is any such concept. So tell me if you guys have any idea about what plant it is. But my guess is it's sunflower. But only thing is, I don't know whether they are perennial sunflower or the regular sunflower. But they really confirmed me that they are sunflower, because morning they will be the other side, they will be turning back this side when the sun sets. So I'm hoping that they are sunflower. Fingers crossed. Let me go back a little. Let me show you how this area looks. And sorry, like, we had a lot of rain, so all the leaves have fallen and they look messy. But otherwise, this is definitely one of the coolest place I used to stand when it is too sunny, because it's fully covered by the climbing rose, and I have some potted flowering plants for adding some colors here. And this is the begonia that I have planted and overwintered in indoor and then brought outside this year, and they are doing really amazing. And this is the begonia that I bought this year and transplanted. And the small blue plants, let me show you closer look. Yeah, so you can see the all beautiful smaller blooms that really adds really some contrasting color with the bright red. These are the alyssum that I wanted to try this year, the pastel mix. So they are really looking great with this combination. I really love them. Look at it. Isn't it awesome, guys? Anyway, and let me show you the begonia. So begonias are actually good for hanging, and this variety is hanging basket variety. The flower will be looking downwards, but when you hold them in the hand, they look really beautiful, and the bloom is so huge. I really loved it. Look at this. Very big bloom. This one I have bought the tubers or the corms from BrexBulbs.company, and I have like some more buds there. And I have kept 2 begonias in the hanging basket, but they were actually like had lot of leaves indoor. So when I brought them outside, I did not really train them well, so they had to go through the shock, like with a different temperature and the environment. So they are restarting, and you can see this begonia started blooming. Isn't it gorgeous, guys? I wish I could show you guys the entire planter filled with begonia and with full of colors. Hopefully I see sometime soon this year or next year, but they are really doing great. So all these new leaves have put up only after coming outdoor. So I'm hoping that this pot will be filled with some colors before October. And this variety also, like the leaf itself, it's amazing guys. Look at the color variation, dark green, red. So I'm hoping that these will also produce nice colors here. And then I have petunia that I want to just hang it here to add some nice interest here. And that's my alyssum. Again, I want to just have some one flowering pot at the end of each flower bed. So hopefully that concept looks good and works out well for me. Oh, you know what? I missed one more plant, guys. Let me show you. This is a rose plant that I have transplanted last week. This is a Eden Climber. So I just got from the Heirloom Roses company from the online shopping. And look at the new growth, guys. It's just a 1 week I have just transplanted. And look how much new growth they have put up. So I transplanted as soon as I got them and then watered them thoroughly. And I know like 2 heat waves came, but in between they are middle of the all this crowded plants, so they did not really get so much heat from the sun. So they are doing really awesome. My hope is this Eden Climber fills up this entire. Let me go back. Sorry. So the plan is we have, let me show you the variety. I always find difficult to read it. Zephyrin Druhen. Yeah. So my plan is to have the Zephyrin Druhen. They are growing until here, right? So I'm hoping that they will only grow maybe maximum here. They will not go beyond that. I have the Eden Climber here. So my plan is to cover this entire trellis with the rose climbers. So one from here and the another from here. So I think in June they will look really cool. I will put how this Zephyrin Druhen looked beautifully covered with ton of blooms. It was really eye-catching and it was like a heaven because the fragrance is so strong and it smells so good. I was like here almost every time when I get free time. I stay here and enjoy the bloom as well as the fragrance. So that's how it looked. But the Eden Climber is not, I think it's only for the beautiful look, but they don't produce huge fragrance, but that's okay. I think by having beautiful 2 climbers in this location, next 2 years I think Eden Climbers will be fully this much size. So I'm hoping that it's going to look gorgeous in the another 2 years.